Hey, what's going on, guys? Rakeem Madison here. And on tonight's live, I'm going to be going over the 3 solutions to your financial problems. All right. Now, I know it's a little bit late, but whoever decides to hop on, just let me know that you're on. Whether you're on live or you're on the replay, whatever, we're going to share some valuable information with you here tonight. So I hope that you get some value. And for anybody that's just hopping on, what I want to do is I do want to get this message out to people because I know there's a lot of people who are struggling with their finances. And it's actually a proven thing. So what I want to do is I want to share those financial strategies with you. And if you feel like at any time in this live, or if you're on a replay, if you feel at any time that the information that I'm sharing, you feel that somebody should be sitting right next to you, then what I want you to do is I want you to share it, right? Share it on your timeline, or share it with the person that you feel that this is going to help. Okay, so what I want to do before I get started is I want to make sure that you can hear and see me clearly. Okay, by what I want you to do is I want you to put a 1 in the comments if you can hear and see me clearly. All right, so as you're doing that, what I'll do is I will go ahead and get started because I don't want this to last too long. All right, so with that being said, let's get right into it. All right, so I said we're gonna go over the 3 solutions to your financial problems. So let's get to it. All right, so first things first, in order for you to increase your cash flow, 3 things have to go down. Okay, there's 3 things. All right, so the first thing that has to go down in order for you to increase your cash flow is your taxes. All right, and now I'm going to give you 3 ways to minimize your taxes, since that's what we're going to be going over. All right, so and you may see me looking over here from time to time, but that's just because, I got my notes over here because I want to bring the information out to y'all, and I want to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay, all right, so first things first. We said we're going to get on taxes. Okay. Now, how are you going to minimize your taxes? There's 3 ways. Okay. The first way is investing. Okay. Now you're probably like, okay, so how am I going to minimize my taxes by investing? So there's certain investments that are tax deferred, which is going to lower your taxes. And then there's also certain investments that are tax deductible. Same kind of concept, right? Where you can minimize your taxes. That's the first way. All right. Now, the second way that you're gonna minimize your taxes is by doing excellent record keeping. Okay. So what am I referring to? So there's a lot of business owners who are not educated on how the tax laws work, and some of the business owners don't understand the amount of deductions that they have, so they miss out on a ton of deductions throughout the year because they're not keeping track of it, right? So that's another way to minimize your taxes, okay? Now, the third way to minimize your taxes, and let me just make sure, is to adjust your W-4. So let me kind of educate you on that. Okay, so most of us that work a 9-to-5 job, right? If you work a job, period, you filled out a form when you got started with your job, and it was called a W-4 form. Okay, now most people don't know how to fill it out, and the instructions on there aren't that good, right? And let me just be honest, most people don't really understand it because most people kind of skip over it, and HR can't really help you with it because then it becomes a liability to them, right? They're basically helping you with that form, so they don't understand it. All right, so let me just go ahead and get that out the way. All right, so we talked about investing, we talked about excellent record keeping, and also adjusting your W-4. Now, another thing, not only is that going to minimize your taxes, but what that's also going to do is that's going to help you increase your paycheck on your job. Okay. Now, in my case, just to kind of give you a little testimonial, for me, I ended up bringing an extra $600 back into my home, right, and back into my paycheck, by literally going out there and adjusting my W-4 and just continuing to follow the strategy that I'm talking about with you here. What's going on, Gerard Map? Good to see you hopping on here, brother. Seen you hop on here quite a bit, so always good to connect with some of the same people and some new people. All right, so just to kind of recap with the minimizing taxes, which is the first thing, is investing, right? They're tax deferred, certain investments are tax deferred and tax deductible. Excellent record keeping, making sure that you're taking advantage of the deductions that you have throughout the year and you're not missing, like leaving money on the table. Okay. And thirdly is to adjust your W-4, which is not going to only lower your taxes, but it's going to increase your paycheck. Okay. The same way it did for me, which mine was $600, which is an extra $7,000 a year. Okay. All right, so that's the first thing. That's the first thing that has to go down is your taxes. Now, let's get into the second thing, okay? The second thing is minimizing your debt, okay? So now that you've minimized your taxes, you've increased your paycheck, right? You're keeping up with your records. You're investing, right? You're lowering your taxes. So when it comes to minimizing debt, the key to this is to not let the banks play you, okay? Because most people don't really understand how interest works, right? Most people only understand simple interest, but they don't understand that compounding interest is happening every single day on most of the loans that you're paying on. So the amount of interest is absolutely ridiculous, right? But people don't understand this. They're just paying their bill and they don't realize that about 80% of your bill is going to the interest. Okay? About 80%. So minimize your taxes, minimize your debt, and don't let the banks play you. Okay? Now, the third thing that has to go down is your expenses. Now, let me just kind of give you a little tip on minimizing your expenses. So first things first, there's a holiday or something happening every single month. So whether it's a wedding, whether it's a sale because there's a new holiday, not a new holiday, there's a holiday going on. So, most stores, they have these sales based on the holiday. So I want you to think about this. So if you're a male, right, I want you to not get your wife or your girlfriend something for Valentine's Day when all she sees in the store is a whole bunch of Valentine's stuff. You see what I mean? So when she sees that, what happens, or when we see most things, we're going to make a decision. And really what's happening is big business is they invest billions of dollars on your psychology, on our psychology. So just to kind of give you an example, right? So you may not even be hungry, but you driving by McDonald's and you see the yellow arch and the red that's on it. Do you understand that yellow and red makes you hungry? Even if you're not hungry, yellow and red makes you hungry, right? Big business knows that's the case. So they invest billions of dollars to part you away from your money. So really, that's actually a financial challenge, right? That's one of the 4 financial challenges, right? And that's actually the last one. Until you stop contributing to what big business is doing, then you're always going to part away from your money, right? So that's how you get your expenses down, by not participating in everything that's going on, right? They got Brown Thursday. They got Black Friday. They got, what is it? Cyber Monday, right? You see how all these things are happening every single month. You got something always going on every month that's basically making you spend your money, right? So what's going on, Jaquez Harrington? What's going on? I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but it's either Rosie or Rocky Leon. What's going on? What's going on, Rico, man? I know you haven't seen me on in a while, man. So it was something going on with my Facebook account, man. But I'm back now, man, and I'm back to educating. So we covered the 3 things that have to go down for your cash flow to go up. All right, so let me just recap those real quick. I'm not going to recap everything, but I'm just going to let you know what it was if you missed it. All right, so there's 3 things. There's taxes, debt, and expenses. Okay, once those 3 things go down, guess what? Your cash flow goes up. All right, so just to kind of recap on me, right? So far, I've increased my cash flow by adjusting my W-4. What happened is, after I adjusted my W-4, which is anybody on here that has a job, if you work a job, right? If we show you how to do this, right? We show you how to adjust your W-4 the correct way, right? And not be out here like most people who are, oh, they're just claiming non-exemptions, but they're not really eligible for it. And then at the end of the year, they owe money, right? Because they don't really understand the strategy. They just want to get the money and they don't really understand it. And really what's happening is they're committing tax evasion. That's not what we're teaching you here, right? We're teaching you legally, ethically, and more teaching you how to do this legally. Okay? What's going on? What's going on, J.R. Wells? Good to see you on here, brother. What's going on? Vincaria Miller, good to see you on here. J.R. Wells says, hey, let's grow. For real, brother, for real. So, what was I talking about again? I almost lost my train of thought. Just kind of recapping me. So basically, I brought 600 back into my household, and with that 600, right, since I'm getting an extra 300 per check, which is $600 a month, I used that to pay off $500 of debt, right? So what that did for me is that basically added an additional 500 to the cash flow that I already created, right? So then that put me at $1,100. So coming up here, like in a couple more days or so, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to pay off some more debt, right? Now, what that debt is going to do is that debt is going to bring me to an extra $1,400 in cash flow. Okay. Now, what I want you to think about is if you're watching this right now, what would an additional $1,400 a month coming back into your household that you don't have to pay debt on, right? You just got that coming in because you decided to make a decision and take action, right, on the opportunity that I'm sharing with you here. What would that do? What would that like put it in the comments. Let me know. Get a little bit interactive and let me know what would that do for you. An extra $1,400 coming back into your household. All right. And while you're doing that, I'll go ahead and continue because that was strategy one. You minimize your taxes, you minimize your debt, and you minimize your expenses. That brings your cash flow up. So now you went from negative cash flow to positive cash flow, right? So that's strategy one. Let's go to strategy number two. So this is for the people who are real determined, right? Those people who say, okay, I got my cash flow up now. I eliminated my debt, right? So what happens by default by you eliminating your debt is your credit goes up by default, right? So you good on that side. You got your cash flow. You good. Now let's go to strategy two. So strategy two is business income. This is where you put the fuel on the fire. All right. So with the company that I've partnered with, and let me break this down with you real quick. I'm not going to go into complete detail, but I'm going to explain it to you. Okay. So the company that I partnered with, on your personal referrals, you're going to make $10. Okay. Now some of you are probably like $10. That doesn't sound like a lot. Right. But let me continue. So J.R. Wells says, increase my credit score by paying the debt earlier. That's what the income would do for me. Exactly, brother. So as I was saying, so the personal referrals, right, with the company, you're gonna make $10 for every person that you show this strategy. Okay? And that right there alone, that's $20 for you right there. Right? Now let's get into once you hit the rank of executive vice president, which I currently am right now. Roshi Leon says, more money for travel. You can afford a dependable car for your family. Exactly. Right. And it's so much more that people want to do. Right. So I know we can probably go on all night with different comments on what that would help you do. Okay. So now at the rank of executive vice president, you're going to get a bonus of $35. So far, that's already $55 for you right there. All right. Now, also, right, because we're not done. All right. So also at executive vice president, you're going to get $25 overrides. Okay. So now You're at the rank of EVP. So what does that mean? That means that you're getting 35 all the way to infinity for any personal referrals. Okay. And 25 from within your organization on anybody who they show the strategy until they hit the rank of executive vice president. Okay. So we're my bad, but we're still not done. All right. So you're getting overrides, you're getting the bonus, and and you're getting it from your team. But now here's what a power is, right? Because we hear a lot of people talk about residual income, and they got 8 streams and all this other stuff, right? So let's get into the residual income. So you have the ability to make $3, $5, and $8. Now, depending on your rank, Roshi Leon says pronounced like Rocky. Oh, okay. Rocky Leon. Okay, yeah. Cool. What's going on, Jessica Gaspar Rogers? Good to see you on here. See who else is on here right now. All right, so let's continue. So you got the ability to make 3, 5, and 8 per person that you have within your organization, right? So if you do the math, right, I'm gonna just throw this out there. So let's say that you show 100 people this strategy, right? These strategies that I'm talking about with you guys. 100 times 8, what's that? That's $800 a month, right? Residual, right? So you get upfront income, right? Then you get overrides, and then you get residual income. But that's just with the business. That's just with the business. You remember in strategy 1, I talked about minimizing your taxes. Rico Savvy says facts, and he says spend so many valuable things. Thanks, brother. Thanks for tuning in for sure. All right. So remember in strategy 1, I talked about minimizing your taxes, eliminating your debt, and minimizing your expenses. So that right there brought income back into your household before you even sold a single product. Now, can you tell me, can anybody on here tell me, especially for the people that's in our industry, what company is helping you make income without selling a single product? I like in the past almost 4 years that I've been doing this, I haven't seen any company that allows you to make income before you sell any of their products. You see what I mean? So basically this is how it went. I came in, I invested the money to get started, and yes, I do have something that I pay monthly, right? I pay monthly for this business, okay? But that $34.95 a month, you really don't even see it when you're bringing in an additional $600 back into your household. So basically, that $34.95 is saving me $600 every single month back into my paycheck, right? Now, Rico Savvy says, no other company I've ever been does this. Exactly. I haven't seen any other company that is, first of all, teaching you the information, right? So the tax laws, J.R. Wells says, instant gratification company is fire. It is fire. It literally is. Rocky Leon says, I've never seen any other company doing this. Like, it blew my mind. Like I'm so glad that I got started when I did, because I had been sitting on it and I had been seeing it like so much, and I've been seeing like a bunch of people promoting it that I know, some of the big people, some of the medium people that I know that was kind of crushing it, and I'm just like, man, I have to be I gotta see what's going on, right? I was not gonna miss out, and I'm grateful that I didn't, because now I'm about to be $1,400 in cash flow, and I'm also generating business income, showing people how to do exactly what I'm doing. And one thing that I always say when it comes to this particular company, right, is in our industry, a lot of people, they worry about creating testimonials, right? They're like, oh, so how am I going to make money if I got to use his his stuff. Like, I got to use his stuff to make money. No, this company gives you the ability to go out there and become your own testimonial. Your own testimonial. So you don't have to worry about using somebody else's stuff if you really have a problem with that. What's going on? And Rico Savage says, and I've made thousands. Exactly, brother. What's going on, Roby Wade? Good to see you on here, brother. All right, so where were we? All right, so we were on business income, right? So we have there's 5 different streams of income. The first 3 come from you. Like, all you need is you. That's why I love this company. All you need is you. So, for example, let me give you an example, okay? Rocky Leon says the extra cash flow from the W4 strategy alone helped me to quit my second job. That right there, oh man, like when I see stuff like that, I get excited. Like, the amount of people in our group that are changing their lives just because of the cash flow strategies alone. We're not even talking about generating business income. We're talking about the first strategy without selling nothing. It's helping people change their lives. So what I say with this business is, if you don't use the strategies and it's not a sign up game. Okay. Now, most companies it's all about signups, right? That's it. That's the only way that you're going to make a single dime. With this company, and I'll just go ahead and say it, right? So, in this company, there are millionaires who have not made $1,000 in a single month. I let that sink in. There are millionaires in this company who have not made $1,000 in a single month. Now, I've been in multiple companies, okay? I've been in multiple companies over the years, and I've made $1,000 a month. But there's millionaires in this company that have not made $1,000 a month. So what does that tell you? It's really about the strategy. What's going on, Robert Huey? Good to see you on here, brother. So yeah, that tells you that it's really about the strategy and not so much, the business. The business is really just the fuel on the fire, okay? But once you apply those strategies are what's going to take you to the next level because you got so much cash flow, right? All right, and another thing that this company does, right, just to kind of sidebar before we move on to strategy number 3, is they help you fix your own credit. And when I say fix your own credit, what I'm referring to is not them fixing your credit for you where you have to send your own personal information. It's where you, as the person, you put the work in to fix your credit. Because one thing I say is, if you know how to fix your credit, guess what? You don't have to worry about some other big company fixing your credit for you. Because guess what? You have to give them your personal information. When you're doing it yourself, you don't have to send any information. You just send it. You follow what they're teaching you inside the credit program, right? It's called a smart credit system, which we also show you, and that's included in your $34.95 per month. Guys, if that right there doesn't blow your mind, like I don't even know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Because by default, you're already going to be increasing your credit by paying off your debt. Hey, what's going on, Wilder Black? Good to see you on here, brother. So you're already going to be, by default, increasing your credit. By default. Just by paying your credit off. And then once you start finding inaccuracies and different things that are not really supposed to be on your credit, guess what? Your credit is going to shoot way up. Right? So I remember there was a time that I had a 780 credit score. A 780, right? Now over the years, my credit has dipped down, but I'm back on the grind, right? I'm back on the grind to get back to that 780 or above. Okay? So for me, it's almost like playing a game. Like when you playing a game, Rocky Leon says, I love the template dispute letters provided. Exactly. Those are very helpful because if let's say, for instance, they didn't provide those, then it would make it a little bit difficult. It would make it a little bit more difficult for somebody to really like, okay, so how do I write this letter? So those are extremely helpful. What's going on, Janika? Good to see you on here. What's going on, David Linares? Also good to see you on here, brother. So I want you to me, this is almost like a game, right? So when you play a game and you're starting to get good at it, you're starting to see what you need to do, and then you start to do it over and over and over, and you get better. So with this, it's kind of the same concept. I'm getting excited every time I hit a new milestone, right? I didn't speak about this, but I've already increased my credit 50 points. 50 points, guys. So not only did I increase my cash flow, which is about to be from 11 to 1400, but I increased my credit 50 points, right? An additional 50 points to my credit just by applying what they're showing me. And on top of that, I'm minimizing my taxes. I'm learning the tax laws, right? Like, it's so much value. Like, I have not seen a company that provides, I mean, I've seen some companies that give you some valuable stuff, but like, the stuff on here is just crazy. It's crazy. And I'm so grateful. It's like perfect timing. Like, it's like it just dropped right in my hands, and it was just like, you got to do this, Rakeem. You got to do this. And that's when I just decided, hey, man, I'm going to take action. I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to follow the strategies. And, for anybody who's out there, you're still on the edge, because I know, I talk to a lot of people, and some people are still a little bit skeptical, right? And I want to help people, right? I truly do want to help people, but you can't help everybody. That's one thing I learned. You can't help everybody. Some people just have to watch you become successful. They just have to watch you, because if they never take action in their life, they're not going to get the things that they truly want, right? I know there's a lot of people who want more in life, but they're just not willing to make a decision and go for it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to make the decision and say, man, I'm going to make that happen. Looks like Rakeem's, changing his life, right? He's bettering his credit score. He's increasing his cash flow. He's lowered his taxes. He's learning the tax laws, right? He's fixed his credit, right? Like, you have to look at those things and realize that it's possible for you too. You know what I mean? So if you're watching this, this is what I want you to remember. If it's possible for one, it's possible for all. Okay? So with that, I'm going to go ahead and go to strategy 3. All right? So strategy 3 is investment income. Okay? So far we talked about cash flow management, which is strategy number 1. Business income, which is strategy number 2. J.R. Wells, got to make a sacrifice. Definitely, brother. You have to make a sacrifice. There was actually I think I saw it in our group. There was somebody who sold their PS4, to get started in this business. J.R. Wells says, for there to be change, one must change. That right there blew my mind. He sold his PS4 to get started in this business because he's seen the value. PS4. So that means he said, oh, I'm not playing games no more. I'm trying to get this money. I'm trying to change my life. Right? Rico Savvy. Talk that genius, bro. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks, man. All right, so let's get to strategy 3, which is investment income. All right, so you got things, when it comes to investments, like I talked about earlier, that's one way that you can lower your taxes, okay? So certain investments are tax deferred, and other investments are tax deductible, which is basically the same thing essentially, but they both lower your taxes, okay? So there's also things, capital gains, right? So let me give you an example of capital gains, right? So capital gains is the least tax. So the example would be, let's say you work a job and you make $100,000 a year, okay? You make $100,000 a year. After taxes, that's going to be $70,000, okay? Now, let's go to real estate, which is sort of in the capital gains area, okay? So real estate, let's say you have that same $100,000, After taxes, that's going to be 85. So you see the difference? At the $100,000 job, it's going to bring you to 70,000, but with real estate, it's going to bring you to 85,000. So you see, you're saving a lot more money when your money makes money. Okay? And that's how the wealthy stay wealthy. All right? All right. So now let's go on to the next thing, which is stocks or bonds. Okay? So you got things like the pre-IPOs. You got municipal bonds. You got government bonds. You got mortgage bonds. You got corporate bonds. Right? All of these things, most of these things are like either tax deferred or tax deductible. Okay? So that's how they have they can lower your taxes. Okay? Now, let's talk about real assets. Okay? Now, real assets are going to bring the highest ROI. All right? So let me give you an example of a few of them. So you got like metals and like certain arts that are going to bring that you can basically liquefy. Right? They can be turned into cash, right? So that's what an asset is, all right? So another thing is real estate, which is what I just talked about. That's going to bring the highest ROI. And my favorite, my absolute favorite is a private business. So your own private business. That's, to me, investing in yourself is the best investment that you can make. The absolute best investment. All right. So let me give you an example. Okay. So let's say for 30, like as I said earlier, I'll just use myself. So investing $34.95 a month is saving me $600 into my paycheck. Because I invest $34, I'm saving $600. So that's one example. Another example is, let's say you invest $100 and that $100 turns into $1,000. That's $1,000% ROI right there. You see what I mean? So that's why I say investing into yourself is probably the best investment that you can ever make. Period. What's going on, Malik, Ace, Monel? Good to see you on here, brother. Love to connect with different people. All right, so guys, those were the 3 financial strategies, right? Those are the 3 solutions to your financial problems. Okay, so just a quick recap through everything, and then what we'll do is I'll invite anybody that wants to take action and get started with this. I'll go ahead and invite you, but let me just recap. So strategy number 1, cash flow management, basically going from cash flow failure to cash flow success. All right. Strategy number 2, business income. Now you're basically leveraging products to put the fuel on the fire so you can increase your income even more, right? Basically changing your lifestyle a whole lot faster. All right. Now, strategy number 3, investment income. Rocky Leon says unlimited earnings potential. Literally unlimited. You got money coming from a business. You got money coming from your own money. Right? One thing that I've noticed with this is you're getting wealthy with your own money. That's what they teach you to do. You become wealthy with your own money. Money that you had in the first place, you just didn't know you really had it. It was going to the government or the IRS, but you didn't know you had it. But now I won't play that game no more. You know what I mean? For years I played that game. Since I've been in the military for about 6 years now, right? And I had online businesses for about 4 years. Okay. So I missed out on thousands of dollars, right? Because I didn't know this before. And this is why it kind of actually makes me upset in a way, only because there's not other companies teaching this stuff. So I didn't know all the deductions I had, right? I didn't know how to get more money in my paycheck, right? I didn't know at a time that I can write off my meals, right? There was a time where I wasn't educated on most of the stuff that I can write off, like common deductions. I knew you could write off miles, right? That was the only thing that I knew about, but I didn't know, you can write off your rent, mortgage. You can write off your meals and entertainment. What else? What else we got? We got your car and your truck. If you're leasing your car, You can also write off like what is it? Let's say like the interest, right? So anybody who you're paying, like let's say you have like a lease with, that at the end of the year they owe you. I think it's a 1098. It's something like that, right? I can't recall at the moment, but basically that shows you what you're paying in interest, and you can actually write that off. But make sure you consult with your CPA. I'm sharing this information, but they are the professionals when it comes to taxes. All right. What's going on, Brittany LaFayo? Good to see you on here. What's going on, Kiara Edmonds? Good to see you on here. So, what was I on? I was on investment income, which is basically capital gains. Your money making money for you. That's where. So let me say this. So while you're working your job, that your money should your money right now should come from working your job. So labor, all right? But your money in the future, once your future lifestyle should be paid for by investments. Okay? Keep that in mind. Okay? And let me say one more thing. Because when I first heard it, I really thought about it. So if you're paying this month's bills with this month's money, you're one slip up away from being on the street. And I know that's a lot of people's situation, and that might hit hard for a lot of people. But if you're paying this month's bills with this month's money, you're only one slip up away. So keep that in mind. So that covers all three solutions to your financial problems. I hope that, most of you guys on here got some value from this. Make sure you share this out to some people. I definitely believe that this information would definitely help a lot of people. And give me some likes or some hearts. Let me know if you got value from this. And unless anybody has any questions, I want to go ahead and invite the people. What's going on? Kiara Edmond says, how you doing, man? I'm at my job, bro, watching. Cool. I appreciate it, man. So if anybody who wants to take advantage of this and, increase their cash flow, eliminate their debt, raise their credit score, then I'm inviting you, right? Personal message me. All you have to do is message me. Reach out to me, and I only want serious people. I don't want tire kickers. I don't want people who ask 1,000,001 questions. Like, questions are okay, right? They're okay, right? Because you want to know certain things. But if you're going to ask me 1,000,000 questions and don't get started, don't message me, and that's not to be mean or anything, but that's, it comes a time where people waste time, and people that actually want to get started reach out to me. JR Wills, great content, my guy. I appreciate it, brother. So with anybody, like I said, if you're interested and you want to learn how I'm able to do all this stuff, then reach out to me personally and ask me for the link. Let's get started. Let's get you going. Let's increase your cash flow, eliminate your debt, and raise your credit score all at the same time. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump off this live. Like I said, any serious people, reach out, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next live. Peace.